Okay guys, since the last video, just want to do a follow-up before we start working on that cabinet with the RCA here. I was able to work out all the linearity issues, and she's playing pretty good right now. I know it doesn't look like it on the on this camera. This high definition camera just doesn't do justice for the picture. I can darken it up and it looks a little better, but trust me, that is a very nice picture. I was able to get most of the buzz out of the sound. I was having some problems with a lot of buzz on the sound. There's no buzz control, but adjusting these IF sound cans pretty much took all the buzz out of it. There's still some buzz in it, but that's going to happen with these modern day DVD players. Let's brighten this picture up a little bit, or actually let's darken it up. Yeah, get a little better look at it now. So I'm going to be shoring this chassis up, setting it to the side, and we'll start working on the cabinet.
Just like I said I would. I walked up to Flint and I said, Flint, have you got a daughter? Now maybe this ain't none of my business, but then again, maybe it is. Now I think that daughter of yours would like to try looking a little bit more like a girl. Now what's it gonna be? And that's all there was to it. She's over that position.
Okay, now that the electronic restoration is complete and the TV is playing very well, turning my attention now to a few odds and ends as well as the cabinet. The first thing is the safety glass, or safety plastic as in this case. Got this out and have done a couple of passes of Novus #2 plastic scratch remover, and you can see this cleaned up pretty well. I still may do one more pass on it. It's still got a few blemishes on it, and it's got a couple of deep scratches. I don't know if it's going to come out on this camera or not, but right in the center area here, which is not uncommon from something this old, there's a few scratches in there that I doubt that I'll be able to get out, but it's not really going to have an impact on viewing this TV at all. And then the screen bezel, and this is a kind of a bronze gold color, and I considered repainting this, but the more I got to working on it and cleaning it up, it's come out really nice. It's in great shape, so I'm going to leave this alone. And I really didn't want to mess with that logo there. That would have been hard to paint over and then paint on top of that. So you can see that's kind of painted on top of the lettering that sticks out. So I put a little bit of just simple car wax on this, and it's turned out really nice. So that's pretty much complete. And then the other thing that I'm working on is this antenna that screws onto the back of the set, and you can see these are brass antennas, and just taking a little brasso, and I've already done this one here. You can see how it cleaned up really nice, and this one's yet to be done, so be doing that, get that done. And then that leaves, last but not least, the cabinet, which I've done some sanding on with real fine grit sandpaper, And what I'm going to do is put on a coat of primer, and I'm just using this Rust-Oleum American Accents primer. And then after we get it primed, we're going to come back with this Krylon Color Master, and this is Banner Red. So I'm hoping that it's kind of a darker red, but I'm hoping that this comes out real nice. Now I'm going to need to mask this off because I don't want to paint over this. Really, I don't want to paint over this cardboard piece that goes into the metal cabinet, help protect from electrical contact, and I don't want to paint over the tube chart. I'm going to keep that intact. So the only thing that's going to happen is there is, you know, some labeling here of the contrast control, and then of course the on-off volume. It's almost wiped off anyway, so I think what I'll do is I'll recreate that after it's painted and put that on, and then put some sealer, some clear coat over it, and I think we'll be fine. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'll check back after I get that primer on, and then keep you up to date as to how the color comes out on this. Well, it's starting to turn red, folks. This is after a coat of primer, and then I've got about 3 coats of red on it now. Probably will make one more pass of red paint, and then I'll come over with some clear coat and seal it up a little bit. I just put the third, actually got done putting the second coat of red on here. So I think 3 coats of the red paint will be enough, and I think it's going to end up looking pretty good. Actually, I wasn't real sure when I first started painting this what this was really going to look like, but I think once we get it done and get it put back together, I think it'll look pretty good. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, the cabinet is complete, and you can see it is red. I wanted to paint it red, and I sure got it red. So getting ready to button the RCA back up, but one thing I wanted to go over real quick before we button this set back up and take a final look at it was go over something that I recorded that I've accidentally lost. I don't know. I guess I must have erased it off of the camera. But at the beginning of this video, I showed you a segment where the TV was playing very well. In fact, it's playing perfectly. And at the end of the last video, I'd still had some vertical linearity issues. I had a little bit of a retrace problem, and I filmed a piece that I've lost that kind of went over how I got that corrected. So I wanted to come back now before we take a final look at this TV and show you what I did. So if you look at this control right here on the schematic, this is control R3, okay, and then this is control R4. All right, now R3 has an A and a B, and R4 has an A and a B. Okay, so this control here is the vertical control that you can control vertical rolling with, and you'll notice it has an extension out of it because that's a user control. This control right here is nothing more than a screw, okay, and this is control B. I believe that's right. If we look Yeah, vertical linearity is R3B, and the vertical hold control, if I can find it on here, vertical hold control, and now I can't find it. Oh, vertical hold's right here. You can see that it's R3A. And the same thing with R4. R4 is the height control, okay, and that's B. All right, so that would be this piece right here, and then this control is the brightness control, and you can see it's got an extension on it so that these come out through the back, and those are called user controls. Because normally during the operation of the set, you would not use the vertical linearity, or would you use the height control. The only way you can adjust those is to pull the back off of the set, power it up, and use it. So what I was doing when I was trying to correct all those issues was using the vertical linearity control, the height control, and then of course this is the brightness control, and it's not really connected. But these three controls, if you look on the schematic here, they are all related to each other, okay? So what was going on when I would adjust the vertical linearity control, it would have an impact on the vertical hold. So what was challenging about it was, and this is pretty common on most TV sets from this era, is that when I would adjust this to try to adjust the vertical linearity, I would get a roll, and the height may have been off. So what it took to correct the screen was just quite a bit of fiddling with these controls. I bet I probably spent an hour on it before I finally got it right, and I got rid of all of the linearity issues. The height was right, and by adjusting the height, a lot of my retrace problems went away. There's still some slight retrace lines in the picture. They're not very noticeable. In fact, you can darken them up and can't even see them. But those are pretty much caused by the new DVDs and the signals that we're putting into these TVs that really weren't designed for those type of signals back when these TVs were made. But that's very common, that all these controls are interconnected with each other, and so when you mess with one, you can definitely have an impact on the other. So when you're restoring a TV and you're trying to get your picture straightened out, you've always got to keep this in mind. If it's designed like this, and most of them are, where they're interconnected. So if you change the height or the vertical linearity, you could get a roll. You'll have to correct that, and so forth. So it takes quite a bit of patience, really, to get that right. But I think we do. And as opposed to the other control, here's the brightness control, which is this one, and it's really not impacted by manipulation of any of these other controls. So hope that makes sense. I filmed that whole process, or done getting ready to put the set back together. The last thing that I did was attach a new power plug. This is the one that came on the set, and didn't really like that. That didn't look safe, and this is much better. The cord's in there firmly and nice and safe. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the TV, and then we'll take a final look. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Rightful descendant of Nathan Teal.
Okay, there it is, folks. Back in the cabinet. and playing really nice. I just wish this camera showed it better than it does. But that that safety glass on that screen is a little bit dark, but it's playing really well. It's a great picture. And here's what the cabinet turned out like. We're watching through the antennas, clean those antennas up. They're nice and brass looking again. And we're watching a show through the Blonder Tongue, broadcast on channel 3. And here's what the back looks like. Some new screws in it. And you can see that antenna is connected to the TV there. And it's pretty red, but it turned out it looks more pink on the camera. It's actually a cherry red, and it goes with that gold pretty nice. Not real sure if I'm that hip on it right now, but it's better than that old tan, gray, brownish color that it was. But turned out pretty good. Still a little bit of buzz in the sound. I just can't get that out of there, but it's not too bad. If I can brighten this up a little bit, actually darken it up for the camera.
Andy, we're looking to you to save the dignity of our fair city. Get us a substitute for Otis Campbell. You're pretty excited by it too, are you, Miss Campbell? Oh, I certainly.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So this is going to conclude the 14-inch RCA TV. Really glad if you were here the whole time. I'm glad you were. If you're just tuning in for the first time, you can see this TV being restored from what it was. It played, but it did not play properly when we got it, so turned out to be a pretty nice little set. So anyway, appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you enjoyed this restoration series on the RCA 14-inch. I'll see you guys next time.